Hello, my name is Gertjan Hartog and I'm Chief Product Officer here at Rake. In this video, we're going to explain to you some of the new functionalities we've added to our software VirtualGrind Pro, version 1.33. One of the main new features in VirtualGrind Pro 133 is the meta model we added and we call horizontal insert. Before I explain this meta model more into detail, I'm going to show you an example. But this is what we understand as a horizontal insert. It's mostly used as a threading tool with one or several teeth and one cutting end, which is typically ground, as we can see in this video here, where we make a profile using a W20 collet in this case. This specific insert here has two cutting ends. So we go out here, turn 180 degrees, but the profile itself remains in what we call the horizontal plane. So when we have opened the horizontal insert meta model, we can add a 2D profile. I already added one which has two teeth to make a threading profile. In the blue light lines is the blank output, and here we have the profile that is put on the blank. Now, as you can see also here on the right, the blank is a little bit too wide, so we can program to grind the sides here, which is called the external face in the software. I can choose on a grinding wheel either to work with the edge of the wheel, then we will make this operation in one pass. Let me show you on the blank itself. So here we have in the yellow the external face being ground. If I choose the S5 part, I can use a roughing and a finishing pass with oscillations being calculated automatically, and then the grinding wheel will oscillate to make the face on your insert. So I add the grinding wheel point also on the other side of the blank so that we have the blank width correctly, and then we can concentrate on the rake. So if we need a chip breaker on an insert like this, we have several methods to grind this. Most typically, we would grind the rake by wheel shape, which means that the shape of the wheel together with the input of the rake angle we see here will define the shape of the rake. If I show you this in the simulation, you can see here in blue the chip breaker or the rake being added. And when I add quickly the grinding wheel, you can see that the grinding wheel will just traverse over the surface, creating a rake or chip breaker. And the next step would be to add a roughing operation on this, make some plunge grinding to prepare for the profile grinding itself. If I go back to my tool, so here we have all plunge operations. The most easy way to do this is by using the automatic type. So we let the software decide where we need the plunges. So I say, okay, from beginning to end, I want to add plunges with a stock removal of 0.1 millimeter. Then here in my output column, I can see where still material will be left. So I can see how well the automatic calculations are. We can see, for example, that on this side and on this side, we would probably need an extra plunge operation. So I go back to the plunge positions and I can add a point here. You saw quickly that the grinding wheel, we can have also an image of the grinding wheel. I can add another point here. And when I go back to my plunge preview, we can see that we already plunged much better on this position, I'll add one more here. And then when I simulate that part, we can see that we plunge grind already a good portion of the profile that we're gonna add. Nevertheless, in this case, it would still be better to do a roughing and a finishing operation. So that's what is being programmed here. So we have a finishing wheel and a roughing wheel with slightly different profiles. We have a stock removal of 0.05, and if we add these two to the simulation, we have our horizontal type insert finished. I can then also see in the machine animation, in this case, using W20 collet to clamp the part, the entire process of the grinding itself. So in this case, I'll just show you the start of the profile grinding. We turn the insert so the grinding point is not too far away from 0, and we can check if all the movements are correct. If there would be a collision, we will have a message. And this is how easy it is to make these kind of threading inserts with VG Pro 133. I hope you enjoyed these explanations, and I want to remind you that on myrollermatic.com you can find the release notes with more information. If you have any other questions, please contact us or your local Rollermatic representative. Thank you.